Hello. We'll give it a few minutes. See if a few more people join in. We've got 2 in. If you drop in the room, just drop a message down in the chat, just so I know who you are. Otherwise, I'm going to be talk to people and I don't know who's there. Yeah, there we go. It's showing. Hello, Stormy T. How's it going? So now, my friend, there is only you in the chat. So if you want to, if you've got anything that you'd like to talk about, otherwise it is just me rambling. We'll give it a couple of minutes. Give it a couple of minutes, see if anyone else comes in. Oh, there we go. There's some more. That's 4. That's better. Everything seems to be working now. I can see people. Your chat's coming through. Nice. Evening, Stormy T. You okay? Hello, Dean. You okay? It's totting a little bit more. There's a few people coming in. Cool. I apologise for the bit of. Hello, Steve. You all right, pal? How's it going? Yeah, I was just going to say I apologise for the light bleeding through there a bit. It's the only way I can get the light set up so I can get sort of something decent going in this room. But it's feeding back off the TV. Okay, looks like 4 it's going to be for the time being. Cool. Right. Sort of pickups wise, recently I've not had a great deal. There's not been, obviously no one can go anywhere. You can't get anything. I have managed to get hold of a couple of things though, film wise. We'll have a look at some of them in a minute. There's a few things come through cartoon wise. That's been through eBay though. I mean, I hate buying through eBay, but sometimes it's a needs must. Still waiting for one thing to come through from Music Magpie. If you're ever looking for anything, if you're looking for films, Blu-ray in general, if you're looking for Blu-ray, give Music Magpie a look into. Some of their stuff is unbelievably cheap, and on a secondary market, if you're buying second-hand stuff, Music Magpies always seem to come in the best because they've always had a new Amray case put in them. The discs have always been cleaned very well, and the packaging, the way they send it out to you, is fantastic, and it's free postage packaging. If you're buying from CEX, if you're buying from eBay, anywhere like that, so the price of postage at the moment is exceeding the price of what you're paying for a film, which is fucking stupid. Yeah, go and check them out. And if you're looking for anything, let me know on the Facebook page, as I have got 10% off codes. So if you're looking for stuff on Music Magpie, we can get 10% off stuff straight away, which is good. And again, it's free postage packaging. So I'm waiting for one thing to come in from them. So I'll be able to upload another video with the one thing that comes in. It's the only one thing that I'm missing out of this particular run. I might as well tell you what it is. It's the 1980s run of Arnold Schwarzenegger films. Now there's loads, but there's only 2 in that run that I won't have in my collection, simply because I just don't like the films. I don't collect for collecting's sake. I collect because I like the particular film. So the 2 that I dislike, Red Heat, which I think is a god awful film. Not into it at all. It's Schwarzenegger trying to do comedy, and it just doesn't work. And then that leads into Twins, which is just a big bag of shit. So those 2 won't definitely be in there, but we'll go through everything else from the Schwarzenegger stuff from 80 to 89. Bit of a shame, really, because Total Recall just misses it. Total Recall's 1990. But there's a good run of films from 80 to 89 that did some absolute gems in there. Yeah, but the 2 that I won't put in is the comedy stuff. Yeah, Steve, which one, mate? Which crap film? Like I say, he's done a few absolute stinkers over the years, but mostly the stuff that he was turning 80s, early 90s was pretty good. The latest stuff he was doing, I was never that into. There's a couple of films that I don't mind, like that End of Days. Is a decent enough Schwarzenegger film. But stuff like Jingle All the Way and all that, nah, it's not my cup of tea. Yeah, Red Heat. Yeah, it's not the best film, mate. It's slightly weird, sort of like buddy cop kind of film. It did nothing for me. And again, it was just Schwarzenegger trying to do comedic stuff, and never really worked for me. I'd rather him just being a straight up action film. All the Blu-rays behind me in genre order. Do you know what? So, some are, some aren't. It's a bit weird behind you. All that top row obviously goes from box sets, and then it goes into labels. So all that top stuff there is all HMV's own label, which is the premium collection. If you're looking to get into collecting Blu-ray stuff like that, have a look at that HMV premium collection. It's a bit marmite. Some people love it, some people hate it. I think it's brilliant for the money, and there's some absolute gems on that label. As far as boutique labels go, it's a bit weird. A lot of this other fancy stuff I've got here, the sort of 88 film stuff and the 101 film stuff, and the Arrow video stuff. Generally, they get a bit of transfer, so they've either got a 2K or a 4K restoration on the transfer. The stuff up here, the stuff from HMV, a lot of that is just straight 1080p stuff, 2K transfer. A lot of it's been just transferred straight from DVD, so it looks a little better than what DVD does, even though it's on Blu-ray. But for me, the titles that they turn out are all older titles, fantastic. And if you're into collecting with those, you get a nice slip box. You get a normally a DVD version and a Blu-ray version and the download of the film. You get normally posters. You'll normally get some art cards as well. So they're smart. And when they're on special offer, you can get 2 for 15 quid, which is brilliant. So when you break it down to £7.50 a film, it's a no-brainer, really. Commando, Steve, yeah, Commando's a good film. My favourite, it's a bit of a toss-up between Running Man and Conan the Barbarian. Those two Schwarzenegger films for me where it's at. I mean, Running Man is just unbelievable film. It's full of cliche. It's full of one-liners. It's probably got Ernie looking at his best. It's brilliant. Predator's a brilliant film as well, mate. Yeah, the good thing I like about Predator is it's not. I mean, yeah, the last 20 minutes is, but the rest of the film is just not solely based around Arnold. There's loads of other good cast members in that. But some of the other films, he just sort of takes over. But Predator, no, Predator's got a brilliant cast to it. So the Predator version that I've got, if I can find it, yes, is that one. I know this camera's stupid, it's backwards, but it's the limited edition version. Haven't got any John Wayne. No, not unless he made something between 1889. No, it's there's no John Wayne. I have got westerns. I've not loads, but I have got westerns. I've got a couple of box sets up there. I've got the Spaghetti Western trilogy. If it's Western wise, it'll either be a Django film or it'll be a Clint Eastwood film. I can't really think how many westerns would have been made through the 80s. You know what I mean? You had stuff like Young Guns and that, which was shit. And Young Guns 2, I wasn't into them at all. But going back to the Predator films, I've got all the Predator films, and even Alien vs Predators, they're okay. I mean, one's fantastic. Two, I'd probably rate more than one, which is a weird one, but I think Predator 2 is fantastic. It's cheesy, it's naff, it's Danny Glover, it's great. It's what more can you ask for? Then you start breaking further into Predators. Predators is a decent film as well. And then the Predator went a bit off tangent, and I wasn't that into it. I've got a copy of it, but it's not that good. Sort of, if you want to look at some of the boutique stuff that I've got, we'll have a quick look. Some of the stuff that they're turning out, there might be a bit of glare back on this because it's got a protective wrapper on it and the camera's spinning the wrong way. But there we go. Is Excalibur. They are worth looking into. If you're looking at putting any kind of label together, if you're looking at doing some kind of collecting, whether it's boutique or it's not boutique, people sort of argue amongst it. What I think it is what HMV do for the money. It's great. And they're turning out loads of 80s classics at the moment. It seems to be that they're going through the vaults of Paramount. There's a lot of Paramount films coming to it. I think the last two that came out were Golden Child and Trading Places, which are two great 80s films. I mean, Golden Child, in my eyes, doesn't get enough praise for how good it actually is. But no, it's once you do start buying into these boutique labels, and they all offer something a little bit different as well. it comes a bit addictive. The HMV stuff, there's multiple genres of films that they release on that. But if you're looking into Arrow Video stuff, Arrow tends to put a lot of horror stuff out. What's that, Dean? Raggy Dolls. Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk cartoons, we can talk cartoons as well. Raggy Dolls was one of those really that was only sort of shown in the UK. I mean, there was loads of cartoons between 1889 that started off live in the UK. Then may have got syndication on American channels, American networks, or Australian networks. Some stuff made it further afield, other stuff never made it out to the UK. Raggy Dolls, I'm not that sure. I'm not sure how far Raggy Dolls got. If you're looking for copies of it on DVD now, I mean, you can pick Raggy Dolls. I think there's 3 seasons. There's no complete box set, so you'd have to buy 3 individuals, which is I've never come across them in the wild. And they're about, you can pick them up, they're about a tenner a piece, I think, second hand. Again, if you're looking for stuff like that, eBay is always a last resort, because all you tend to find on eBay is just like nostalgia tax. You know what I mean? People are just charging you through the nose for stuff just because it's got some sort of nostalgia to it, which is wrong. You know what I mean? It's only worth what it's worth. The best gauge to look at anything to see what it's worth is if you just nip onto the CEX website, or if you've got their app on your phone. They're normally brilliant at price checking stuff. If you go to there and search what you're looking for, it normally gives you a base price of what it's going for. I'm sure Raggy Dolls is up there as well. Some stuff you'll be able to find through CEX, other stuff you won't be able to find on CEX. I've been lucky at some points to find some things, some gems on eBay for very little money. I'm going to do a video in the next couple of weeks with this. I mean, the thing's a bit of a beast. But that's the full box set of Transformers. This is the sort of best edition that you can get in the UK. There's other editions worldwide, but this is the best one that we got in the UK. Biggest problem with this edition is the cardboard box that it comes in. It's absolutely terrible. It's too thin. For the weight of the DVD cases in it, it's just too thin, which is a shame, because what you'll tend to notice, they all start going there like that, which is a shame. But that's the full 14 disc collection. So there's seasons 1 to 4 on 13 discs, and then they've got the movie on the 14th disc. The good thing with this is there's absolutely loads of special features on each disc. So some discs have got scripts of episodes on there. Other discs have got masks you can print out and cut out. It's really good. The film's the remastered version, which is good. Now this goes for about 40 quid second hand. I found this including postage and packages on eBay for 9 quid, for £9, which is worth £9 of anybody's money. But it's the best way you can get the collection. There is a good collection in the US. Just the full lot of G1 Transformers, and it comes in a better box than this. If you can find it and you've got a Region 1 player, if you can get it for the right money, then I'd say go for it, because this is a bit of a behemoth, this thing. And again, the artwork's great, and I love the artwork. The artwork's fantastic. but the cardboard box is terrible that it comes in. Right, Stephen. What's my opinions on cartoons that have been remade using computer-generated images? It depends. Remake-wise, there's been a few recently. The Thundercats remake was a fucking abomination. That thing should never be out. And I know it's horses for courses, and the cartoon's not aimed at me or my age range, and it's aimed for kids now. But even kids now aren't that stupid to like the quality of that stuff. It's piss poor. But then there are some good gems. If you go and check out, if you've not already checked out, the new She-Ra series that started on Netflix, that Netflix have been running, that's brilliant. That looks superb. Storyline's really good. Voice acting's really good. So there are some gems amongst the stuff that's computer generated now instead of drawn on cell. I've nothing against anything being done digitally. It's the way forward. It's the way everyone's going. But it's about getting it right. If you're not getting it right, then it's. I mean, even down to things like more modern stuff, like the new version of Teen Titans. The older version of Teen Titans look great. The newer version of Teen Titans, they've just dumbed it down. They've dumbed the animation style down, and it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? You weren't fooling us back in the day with bad animation. You're not fooling kids today with bad animation. So it's sometimes I think it's just shortcuts and cheap budgets. But there's some real good stuff out there. Oh, so try and move this light a little bit. It's just reflecting in the glasses. So there you go. But yeah, if you again, it's not really 80s related, but if you remember the films Starship Troopers, if you go back now to sort of, I would imagine it's about mid to late 90s when that came out, and check out the Starship Troopers animated TV series that was done full digitally. That's very good. That works massively. But then they tried it with Transformers. I think it was Beast Wars, and that looked poor. I was never into that. That didn't look good. But there's even sort of the newer stuff that they've done with different animation styles that look good. I mean, they've had a redo it at Danger Mouse. Danger Mouse looks pretty good. So it just depends what you're into, really, I suppose, and how you look on things. I mean, I think my biggest problem is I look at things through rose-tinted glasses, and you want the whole nostalgia kick out of things. But obviously, modern stuff's not offering that. Same with TV wise as well. TV stuff, very little cuts it for me anymore. So I just go back and watch the things that I liked from years gone by. And there's more and more stuff's accessible now with streaming and that. But surprisingly, DVD still outsells Blu-ray or 4K like 3 and 4 to 1. So there's still lots and lots of stuff being released on DVD that's never had physical releases before, or would definitely never come to streaming. One particular company in general that does a lot of 70s and 80s things, and sort of like stuff from cult classics to stuff that you it would have to jog your memory for you to remember it. That's a company called Network. they put this kind of stuff out. Oh, sorry, Playback, the company's called. Network's a different company. Playback. They put all this kind of stuff out. So that's the Knight Rider collection. That's on, I think it's 26 discs. And then all the discs are inside like that. Again, this stuff isn't cheap. But the boxes and cases that they come in are fantastic. Real good sturdy boxes. But this company turns out loads and loads of great stuff. The Knight Rider collection, which I've got there, that's really good. They started off before that with the softer box, so that's the full A-Team collection. Again, that's pretty good. That's 27 discs. I mean, who doesn't love A-Team? Now I know if you're still there, Stephen, I know definitely this was one of your favourites back in the day. And if you can get all of a copy of this, get all of a copy of it. It is the complete collection. So it comes with the complete collection, TV series, the final battle, and then the mini series. You can get this for decent money now, brand new. It's about £15, brand new. That's a great release. The final battle, the mini series, the complete collection. That's definitely worth picking up, and the quality of it's really good as well. But no, we're sort of 80'd out in here. Really, it's a bit of an 80s fest. If you come in and have a look at this room, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's more art going up all the time. If you see some of the artwork in here that I've got, or artwork that's just outside, you'll see it's all by the same guy. It's all done by a guy called Dave Kennedy. Who, if you want into his artwork, or if you're into any like nostalgia films, TV, cartoon stuff, go and check his website out. I'll drop a link in the description after this is done a bit further down. You can go check out Dave's artwork. It's phenomenal. I've two large pieces up here that you can't really see. Transformers. One of Optimus Prime, one of Megatron. So they're really good. But if you guys want to chat about anything in particular, anything that you guys are into, drop it down in the chat. Another good thing at the moment as well, if you're looking for older titles, or you're looking to start a collection up of anything really, charity shops at the moment in the UK are getting inundated with DVDs. I think slowly what will happen is that the charity shops are getting that much brought into them. They'll just do what they were doing with books, and they'll just start pulping the stuff. They'll just shred it, because people's trying to get rid of it left, right, and centre. And sometimes some people don't know what they've got. They're giving stuff away that's out of print or worth a couple of quid. Excuse me. And they're a good way to find things at the moment. I mean, in town near us, there's YMCA, and everything in there is 99p, and all the DVDs 5 for 99p. And just before everything went tits up again and everything closed again, I found 5 absolute gems in there for 99p. I mean, one of them was on its own is worth sort of £6-7. I mean, two of them are here. Again, 80s films. 88 Films turn a lot of Blu-ray out now, but they also do DVD as well. So 88 Films do a thing called the Slasher Classics Collection, and this was number one. I would imagine it's number one on Blu-ray as well, but I'm not sure. But it was the number one on the DVD collection, and this is Slaughterhouse. Fantastic release, good slasher film, and to find that in a charity shop is an absolute gem. Just for the bonus content on its own, it's worth. It was worth 99 pence on its own, you know what I mean? But at the moment, I think that's about £6 if you just buy it anywhere else. And then Stephen King's The Night Flyer. Now I know this is definitely out of print. I mean, you can't pick this anywhere at all at the moment unless it's second hand. And that's again another good film. Loads of bonus stuff on it. So don't turn your nose up at a charity shop. Go and have a look in them, because sometimes there's 9 times out of 10 it's just the same generic catalogue titles rolling after time and time again. But every so often, somebody's sort of taking that kind of thing down there, and people like me can get a bargain. It's good. It's good to have in your collection. I mean, I've never turned my nose up at DVD. Obviously, some titles are all available in DVD. They never had a Blu-ray transfer. So there's some titles I've still got on DVD because there is no Blu-ray release of it. One of the main titles, and I talked about it in one previous video that I've got, is if I can find it. What's that got to do with this? Is 1981's Dragon Slayer. This was a Disney and Paramount picture, Sword and Sorcerer. That has never had a Blu-ray release. So if you can pick copies of that up, that's great because the chances are with that being a Disney title, it's never going to get a Blu-ray release. You know what I mean? Probably the best you'd be able to do on it is if it went up onto Disney Plus, you might be able to see it in high definition on there, but it's never going to get a Blu-ray release. Well, I said I'll be surprised if it does. But then other DVD things I collect as well is if I can't find a particular thing out in the wild, I'll keep hold of it for a while. And this one, it's available on Blu-ray, but I've never come across it anywhere. And it's Biggles, Adventures in Time. Now, for me, this is a little gem of a film. I think it's brilliant. And this was Peter Cushing's last film. Peter Cushing didn't do anything after this one. But that's solely why I've still got DVD. The other thing that you will find as well is that if you have got which film, Stephen? Biggles. Yeah, Biggles is brilliant. It's one of them though. It's like lots of films from the 80s that were sort of low budget, looked down on in the time, and people laughed at them, have now just become cult classics. You know what I mean? And that's definitely one of them. But yeah, the reason I still keep, you know what I mean? I might have the same copy of film 2 or 3 times, DVD and Blu-ray and whatever. The reason I keep the DVDs is the Blu-ray releases don't always get the special features. So some of the DVDs that I've got the special features on where the Blu-ray haven't. I mean, one in question. If can find it. There it is. No, it's not. There. Back to the Future. That's great. Everyone knows Back to the Future. I've got that on DVD and on Blu-ray. Now, yeah, the Blu-ray is cool, and it looks loads better. But the DVD version has an extra fourth disc that's just full of special feature stuff. The special features on this, but there's some things on the DVD version that's not on the Blu-ray version. So that's why I do keep all of DVD. I mean, there's other bits as well. Obviously, going to the Iron Eagle. Yeah, Iron Eagle is a fantastic film. To be honest, I've been looking for those for a while now. The Iron Eagle films. They are exceptionally good for what they are. In my eyes, Iron Eagle was better than Top Gun. I mean, I disliked Top Gun massively, and I'm still really not the biggest Tom Cruise fan, but I hated him in those films. I just can't stand him. Iron Eagle knows what it is. It knows that it's cheesy. It knows what audience is aiming at. But they're brilliant for it. I mean, was there three Iron Eagle films altogether? I think there was. But Iron Eagle was fantastic. I mean, any of those kind of films in the 80s like that, where some kid who was the four altogether. Yeah, I remember three. I don't remember the fourth one. It's like where they had a bunch of kids put into one sort of environment where they should never have been, and then they end up saving the day. Brilliant, fantastic. And he does exactly the same. How old is he in that film? He's about 15 in that film, and he's flying an F-14. You know what I mean? It's just craziness. It's great. How many Blu-rays and DVDs have I got? Oh, now you're asking. Again, because I only buy things I like, and I don't just buy things for the sake of buying them. It's not as big as other people's, but at the last count, it's about 500, and that's across everything. That's not just like 500 films. That's everything. So that's films, cartoons, box sets, TV shows, all that kind of stuff. Or I should say titles. That's 500 titles. So like you saw, Knight Rider down there. It's got 20 odd discs to it. So was it an F-16 in Iron Eagle? F-14 was Top Gun. Yeah, but he knew right flying it. You know what I mean? He was about 15, 16 years old, and he's flying it like he'd been flying it for 30 years. It's great. And there was loads of good films like that. Red Dawn. Red Dawn's another fantastic film about kids with firearms. You know what? It's crazy to save the day, but the good films. And if you watch them back now with the sort of nostalgia and that, most of them still hold up pretty well. There's some stuff that's not held up well. There's some stuff that's terrible, but more stuff, sort of 80s, early 90s, holds up pretty well, which is cool. You know what I mean? Have I seen the remake of Red Dawn? I have, yeah. It's okay. It's not a bad film. Again, like I said before, the remakes of this kind of stuff it's probably not aimed at me. It's probably it's aimed at a newer generation, and I completely understand that. For some reason, my Xbox has just turned itself on. But it's okay. It's not a bad film. It does what it does. And it's same with anything really that's sort of being remade or has been remade. Sort of the big kicker will be the next Ghostbusters film. I mean that's a direct follow-up, so that has to be as nostalgic as you can get it. It's otherwise I just don't think it would work. Like the reboot of Ghostbusters. If you watch that, it's not a bad film. It isn't good in any aspect, but it's not a bad film. The CGI is pretty good in it. I think it's just the writing that's bad. They're not bad actors that's in it. I think it's just the writing that's relatively bad. But I think with it rolling on into the new Ghostbusters film, it's got to be nostalgic. It's got to pull people for that reason. And to be honest, it's probably the film I'm looking forward to the most. And I think as obviously the times that we're in and cinemas are struggling and cinemas are open, and a lot of stuff's going straight to streaming sites instead of going to a cinema release, or they're getting a small cinema run in certain places. I think more and more people will watch these, especially Ghostbusters. You know, I mean, how many people are going to watch know what Ghostbusters is from the youth, but would never have gone to watch a new Ghostbusters film at the cinema, but now they're in the comfort of their own home, are going to watch Ghostbusters. You know what I mean? It's one of them. I mean, cinemas might be done for all together, but you know what I mean? Is it really a bad thing? You know what I mean? If you're into the stuff that I'm into, all the older titles and nostalgic stuff, there's always going to be a place for that. But modern films, do they need cinema releases anymore, or is it just easier to charge people for them on streaming services? I mean, Netflix have just seemed to take over the stuff that's coming to Disney Plus. You know what I mean? It's what they're doing with the Marvel universe and the Star Wars universe. You know what I mean? It doesn't need cinema releases anymore. But I think sort of physical release, physical media is still always going to have a place on disc. I think you still will get certain companies, especially like the companies that I'm into anyway, that are releasing all the titles. Those companies are picking up titles all the time. That kind of stuff always has a future. It's the more modern film that I think doesn't have a future on disc or on cinema, because it's just dead easy to stream things from your own home. You know, why go to a cinema? Why go to a cinema with a family of four and it's going to cost you the best part of 50 quid to watch a film when you can stay at home and stream it for £15 or £12 off one of the main streaming sites? It's a no-brainer. Modern films are just going to be more enjoyable at home now, I think. And if you've got a decent system as well, if you've got a good TV in place, everything, and a good internet connection, you know what I mean, and a good surround sound system, then you're always why go to a cinema? You've got the comfort of your own home to watch it. No, I like going to the cinema, but I will only go for certain films. I won't go just to watch anything. And Ghostbusters being one of them, Ghostbusters is one of the ones that I want to watch. But yeah, Have I got Big Trouble in Little China on Blu-ray? Yeah, I'll show you. It's a good version of it as well. Video UK boutique Blu-ray company. Check them out. Fantastic. Again, I don't know why my camera decided to spin everything round backwards, but there we go. Big Trouble in Little China. And the good thing with Arrow is everything gets an upscale or a different presentation of the film. And look at all the special features on that. I mean, the special features start from here and go all the way down. There's absolutely loads on it. And the other thing that the Arrow Video do as well, on every title, whether it's a limited edition run or the main problems of or main run of all the titles, is you get reversible art. So that is Arrow's artwork, and then you get the original artwork on the reverse side of it as well. If you're looking to buy Arrow Video stuff, either their own website or HMV, probably twice, maybe 3 times a year, Arrow will put a sale on where they're doing 2 for 15, just on the standard edition titles like that one. Transfer looks brilliant. The thing with these is, what you've got to get your head round is when the transfer goes through whether it's a 2K restoration, 4K restoration, whatever it is, you will always get grain pattern. You will always get grain in these films because that's how the film was intended. So the better quality the picture does, the more grain you get, but it doesn't do any disservice to the quality of the film. Yeah, Kurt Russell's cool. I've loads of Kurt Russell films. I mean, again, if The Thing, Arrow Video put a great version of The Thing out. If you want to pick that up, that comes in a limited edition collector's, which is really smart. But other Kurt Russell films, what other Kurt Russell films have I got? I've got Escape from New York. That version, the Studio Canal version, this one's quite an old one now. If you're going to get this and you've got the means to get in the 4K version that Studio Canal put out, buy the 4K version. Do not buy that version. This version is really cheap. It's about £5 or £6 now. The transfer on it is shit. Some pounds, it's unwatchable. Now, I don't think it was just the transfer. I think it's how the film's been shot initially as well. But in places it's bad. It's so dark, it's unwatchable. It's like Vaseline's been smudged on the lens. It's poor in places. The film itself, I love. The film's fantastic. Again, you've got extras on that one as well. But if you've got to do it, either import the US Shout Factory edition. It was either Shout Factory, Screen Factory, same company, but I can't think what label they put it out on. Check that out, or buy the 4K versions that's just been put out by Studio Canal. They've done at the moment. They've done Escape from New York, They Live, The Fog, and Prince of Darkness. Four John Carpenter films on the 4K remaster, and they are phenomenally good. They're really good. You can buy, if you have a look at Amazon, I think it's probably the best place to pick it up. They do a 4-disc box set of it for about 40 quid, I think. That's great. I mean, I've not currently got that, but that's really good for the money. £10 a film, or if you want the 4K standalone editions, I think they're about 20, 25. I mean, John Carpenter wise, that's the version of The Fog. This one was from a 4K scan. It is Blu-ray, but it was from a 4K scan. That's a fantastic film. That's a 2-disc edition as well. But Kurt Russell films, you know what you're getting with him. Escape from LA is okay. It isn't brilliant, but it is what it is. It's no Escape from New York, but it's pretty good. I'm trying to think if I've any other Kurt Russell films. I don't think I have. No, but if you're looking into collecting, the UK at the moment offers some brilliant boutique Blu-ray companies, from low end budget price stuff right up to premium quality collector's stuff. It's awash with stuff out there at the moment, and it's great. I mean, whether you're into horror or into, I mean, the horror genre is just covered by so many companies, and there's so many good titles being released. 88 Films, Arrow Video, they turn out some brilliant stuff. And then 101 Films, and they're sort of down the cheaper end of the line. They put 101 have put some fantastic titles out. And again, if you go onto their website, through just after Christmas, during the whole of January, they had virtually a half price sale and everything. So you could get a lot of the catalogue titles off there between £6 and £7, which is really good. If I could only keep one disc, what would it be, Steve? Oh, now you're asking. That's really difficult. If I could only keep one disc, it would. No, you've got to laugh at this. You've got to laugh. Everybody will laugh. It would probably be Hawk the Slayer. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal film. It was made for about 50 pence in about 1980 in the middle of some woods somewhere. That's got, when you look back now, it's got one of the best British cast of actors. You'll recognise every single one of them. It was, the sword was more of a character than the characters were. The sword in it is fantastic, the Mind Sword. There was something about this film that just, from watching it as a kid, just, I don't know, it just did everything. I mean, sword and sorcery stuff is where it's at for me. That is my favourite genre. This is just brilliant. It's what a sword and sorcery film should be. There's witches and wizards, there's warlocks, there's warriors, there's elves, you name it. It's great. But I think if I could only keep one disc, it will have to be Hawk the Slayer. Now, I've got it on the fancy Blu-ray release that Network put out. Network are another British company that are somehow tied in with ITV. And this was a brilliant release. This looks beautiful. And if you can pick this up, you can get it from their website. It's £9, brand new. If you like this film, buy it. Buy this version. This version is great. Not only that, it's full of extras. I mean, there's about three hours worth of unedited documentary footage where someone's just walking around filming them while they're being filmed. And there's no one talking, there's no one doing anything. It's just someone filming them while they're filming. And it's great. The weird thing, so all in a small case, it's in a thin Amaray case. And that's the disc. Again, it's got some artwork. on the back of it as well. But I also own the Prism Leisure version. So Prism Leisure, if I can find it, put a version out years and years ago. On DVD, which for years that was my go-to version of it. But there was no extras on this; it was just the film. And then obviously when this came along, I thought, yeah, you know what I mean? It's a Blu-ray version; it'll be a little bit better. No, it is 100 times better than what this version is. This looks brilliant. It sounds good. If you've got a decent sound setup, it sounds brilliant. It's crystal clear. The colours pop on it like crazy. I mean, I have a LG 4K player with HDR. With a little help of that player, this film pops like crazy on a 4K TV that I've got. It looks fantastic. But yeah, if I could only keep one title, that's probably what it would be. There's a probable close second to it, and the close second will be that. Now, this is a Spanish import, and this is the only way I could get a copy of it, but that is the Beastmaster. There has been no official UK release of this film on Blu-ray, up to now. Our US friends have just had a nice 4K remastered edition of this done by Vinegar Syndrome. It looks beautiful. The packaging's great with it that it comes in, but this is my version. This is a Spanish import version. It looks great. It looks fantastic. It's nowhere near what the 4K would be, but it's a good version of it. Even though it is a Spanish import, it is in English. If the Spanish wanted to watch this, it's dubbed and subbed. So, but yeah, that would probably be the second choice. I mean, let's be honest. There's that many films I like. It's hard to say. But if I was to narrow it down, then that's probably where I'd go. If you was lucky, I could probably run you a top 10. I could probably put a top 10 together, and that would be all over the board on genre wise. But it's sort of same cartoon wise. I mean, if you follow my videos on the channel, you'll see my collection goes through a lot of things. But again, I only collect what I like. I don't collect for just the sake of collecting. So if you looked at my collection, there's a few obscurities in it. There's not much, but the problem with collecting 80s cartoons on DVD in the UK is companies will tend to start with a run. So you'll get season 1, season 2, but that particular cartoon might have 5 seasons, 6 seasons, and then because they've not sold well on the second season, you'll never get the rest. So instead of just releasing one complete package like they're everywhere else, complete collection, here in the UK it's really difficult. Just because it's just money maker. If you can turn season 1 out, they're making more money. But what happens is when they planned, they just cancel them. So certain things I've got box sets of, complete sets. Other things you'll struggle. Like the big one over there. Now I know some of my friends in the US that we chat to and talk to, they've got 2 or 3 collections that's available to them of this particular cartoon. But even in the UK, this is it for us. We haven't got any more, and that is Real Ghostbusters. So that's Real Ghostbusters season 1. That's all 26 episodes, I think. I think it's 26 episodes of season 1, and it looks great. And then season 2 came along. They split it. So there's 4 episodes on that one. There's 4 episodes on that one, and then that is it. There's nothing else available in the UK. So yeah, we're a little bit behind when it comes to things like that over here. The Germans do it really well. The Americans do it really well. The Australians do it really well. But over here, no, we just seem to split things up into weird box sets. I mean, so much so that the complete He-Man set in the UK was split up into something ridiculous. Like, would have volumes. So you'd have volume 1, volume 2 of season 1. So you just have discs everywhere. It would be uncontrollable. You wouldn't be able to keep this stuff. There would be that much of it, and it goes for daft money. You wouldn't be able to keep this stuff. There would be that much of it, and it goes for daft money. So I got the US version complete. Now that includes all 100 She-Ra Christmas special are on this as well, and then it's also got just a load of documentaries on it as well, which we didn't get on the UK stuff, and that cost me the big sum of a tenner on eBay. Now it is region 1. You will need a region 3 player if you want to watch this, which I've got, but it's worth it. You know what I mean? If you're looking at importing stuff, if you're looking to try and get all the things that we've not got in the UK, buy a region 3 player. For Blu-ray, for DVD, it's the way forward. If you're becoming a collector, that's the first thing I'd say is look at a region 3 player, just simply because of things like that. The other box set as well, that is Bravestar. Bravestar has got, well, I'll show you what it got in the UK. In the UK, it got that, and I think there's 3 of those available: volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, and they've got like a couple of episodes stuff. I've got a connection problem with it, and we're back, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so a company called Mill Creek put a lot of this stuff out, and they do a lot of it in the States. Whereas it's over here, it's individual companies will take on something, and then when it's not selling well, they'll tend to cut a line off and then not bother with it, which is a shame, because there's so much good would be available to us that none of these companies are doing anything with, because they just look at it financially, and for them it's not viable to do it. There's a couple UK based stuff that I'm trying to hunt down, and the main one is, if anyone remembers it, is a cartoon called Alias the Jester, which is a fantastic cartoon, but I cannot get my hands on it, cannot find it. So that's an out of print DVD. All 13 episodes are on there. There's only 1 season, and I cannot find it anywhere. So if anyone comes across that, let me know. If anyone's got a copy for sale, I'd definitely have that. It's things like that that's heard. Okay, Dean. Speak to you soon. Bye bye. See you later. Yeah, it's weird. It's other things again, stuff that wasn't massive in the UK at the time, but doesn't get a lot of releases of things like that. Like Cops is a great show, but the only thing I've got of them over here are 3 volumes like that with 3 episodes on each. So there's only 9 episodes. Why these companies never pick up on stuff like this? I don't know, unless it's just a rights thing in the UK. They can't get the rights to it. But then just ones like that, Star Wars Droids. Again, I love that show. Some people liked it. Some people really hated it. I thought it was great. That is another one where that's not complete. It's got what we would class as season 1 and season 2 on it, but in theory, there were 2 small films that were broken up for CBBC at the time, so CBBC could show them. They brought them up into sort of 12-minute episodes, so they could stretch it out. So on this, you've got The Pirate and the Prince and Treasure of the Hidden Planet, which was both ran on CBBC, but there was also a pilot episode that ran for 4 episodes all up at the end, and that's not on this. Now, why? I don't know, because the same 20th Century Fox turned. So you remember the Ewoks cartoon that was out at a similar time? Everything's on that one. That's complete, but this one isn't. It is nice to have. That is my phone going crazy. But there's just what we're on, an hour and 7. An hour and 7. Have we got anyone? So yeah, that's it. Well, I think I'll call that a day now for a live stream. For the first one I've ever done like this. Nice chatting to people. It makes a little bit of a change to be sat in front of a camera like this instead of behind it. Hopefully I can get a better camera going so it'll actually look correct. And we'll do some more soon. So yeah, thanks for joining in. Then the people that dropped in the chat, thank you very much. It's nice to know that we're watching what we're doing. And I'll speak to you all again soon. See you later. Bye bye.